Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to TechdOut. My name's Joe. Now, I don't know about you, but for me personally, it's been a pain in the ass to get a new console this generation, to the point where I personally gave up even looking for one, with all the bots and scalpers and such. So, in order to play some of the latest AAA games coming out, though, how exactly do I do that? Well, this is when I decided to give Stadia a try. But wait, couldn't I just play those AAA games on the last gen Xbox or PlayStation, or even my PC for an example? Well, technically yes I could, but with some of the features that Google Stadia provides compared to the consoles and even my PC, I decided to give Stadia a try, and here's my thoughts. Now, for starters, Google Stadia has both a free tier and a paid tier. The free tier streams your game in 1080p, 60 frames per second, whereas the pro tier, which is $10 a month, gives you access to free games and also allows you to stream your game in 4K 60 FPS and gives you a discount on current games in the store. The pro tier can be canceled at any time, but once it is, you actually lose access to those free games that you claimed when you had it. Unless you buy those outright, obviously. So what I actually recommend doing is trying Stadia out for free, and you can do that by playing the two free-to-play games that they have right now, which is Super Bomberman Online or Destiny 2, just to see, how well they perform on your internet connection, and not only that, make sure how they look, make sure they're meeting your standards before you even, fully commit to this new platform. Okay, so what's different on Stadia compared to, consoles and PCs then? Well, for starters, there's no downloads, ever, which comes in handy for those, day one patches we've become so used to and familiar with that, you're so hyped to play your new game that you just got, and then all of a sudden, bam, day one patch, guess what? It's 50 gigabytes. So you're going to need to download that before you even jump into the game. Whereas in Stadia, once you pay for the game, you're able to play it instantly, day one, once the game is released. And same with any future patches. They're already downloaded for you. Just hit play, you're good to go. Also, because you have the game on Stadia, you're then able to play practically on any device that has a screen and a connection to the internet. So the TV? Yup. Your PC monitor? Yup. Laptop? Of course. What about my smartphone, though? You betcha. Also, when it comes to Stadia, in terms of, the controller, that's actually the Stadia controller. But you actually don't need just this guy. You can play with, keyboard and mouse on the PC. You can play, with the PS4 controller, the Xbox One controller. Basically, as long as it has Bluetooth, then you're okay to play it. Now, let's say you have the Chromecast, and for whatever reason, you like the Xbox or PlayStation controller better than this guy. Well, what you can actually do is set up your Chromecast, turn this guy on, which then connects to your Chromecast, and on the back here, USB-C. So if you get a USB-C cable to, I think it's, what do we got? Whatever plugs into the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, if you plug it into that, then it's called tandem mode. So you can still use your controller, which then is sending the inputs through the Google Stadia controller to the Chromecast. So just in case you have your preference, if you don't want to mess with this guy or just, like the Xbox or PlayStation controller that much more. Now, Stadia isn't perfect by any means. For an example, the game library isn't really, up there compared to the rest. Now, it's growing with, they say, 400 games coming this year alone, but compared to such things, as your Steam library or even console library, it doesn't even come close right now. Also, when it comes to availability, they still have their work cut out for them, as they're currently only available in 22 countries. Next, because this is a streaming service, obviously it depends all on your internet connection in order for it to work. So playing offline, it's not going to happen. And even if you do have decent internet connection, you might have a data cap. which, that's something you definitely need to pay attention to, if you decide to try this platform out. Now, Stadia uses anywhere from 4 to 20 gigabytes per hour, depending on your streaming quality. Also, you need to make sure your internet connection is actually at least 10 megabytes per second for 720p streaming, and at least 35 megabytes per second for 4K gaming. Now, overall though, I actually highly recommend you give Stadia a try, with some of those free games especially, to see if it's something, you want to commit to while you wait for that, new console to come back in stock. Also, if you end up liking Stadia, though, and want to check out the Pro tier, then actually make sure to check the description down below where you can get 2 free months of Stadia Pro with my referral link. Now, over time, though, when it comes to specs and hardware on the Stadia side compared to, the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X, currently this Stadia sits at the Xbox One X and PS4 Pro level, but there is plans to upgrade that to, match the current hardware that's out there right now. But also, if you like the idea of subscription-style gaming, I recommend you actually check out these other services such as Xbox Game Pass / xCloud, which has hundreds of games for you to play for $10 to $15 a month, either locally on your device or streaming it, which also includes Xbox exclusives day one. Also, there's NVIDIA GeForce Now, which allows you to play games you already own like that in your Steam library and stream it to other devices as well. And then finally, we got to keep our eye on Amazon Luna, which will be another game streaming service coming soon, which is going to be more similar to Xbox Game Pass. Now, if you have any questions about Stadia or anything else tech related, make sure to leave a comment down below, or actually come ask me in chat when I stream on Thursdays and Fridays on Twitch and YouTube. So besides that though, make sure you're subscribed to stay updated on the latest tech, and I'll see you later.